This is Terry Yelverton, and my professional development is on the 5E model. The 5E model of instruction is a good example of an adaptable teaching and learning sequence designed to help students understand scientific explanations in the context of inquiry and three-dimensional teaching and learning. The 5E model of instruction includes engage, an engage phase, an explore phase, an explain phase, elaborate, and evaluate. The 5E model was developed by Dr. Roger Bybee. We're going to watch just a little bit of him.
So many things in our world in the 21st century are related to science. Major issues, major phenomena that we see, we experience, that influence citizens, including future scientists, have some kind of scientific basis in them. And I think it's really important for our citizens, Spain or the United States or wherever, to be able to develop the competence to use their science background to find concepts and apply them to everyday situations, such as everyday situations of health and nutrition, of environment and resources, of natural hazards, things that we hear about almost every day in the newspaper, and to move so the citizens have some knowledge and understanding of those as they have to apply their own knowledge in life situations. A teachable moment.
Okay, so that gives us a face to the 5E model. There are research-based factors that back up the 5E model. During the engage phase, you assess prior knowledge. During every phase, you're able to scaffold. During every phase, you can build learning communities. During the elaborate phase, you can transfer. And in every phase, you have continual assessment. The 5E model also aligns with the next generation science standards. So during the engage phase promotes students' curiosity and interests. It gives the students their expected learning outcomes. It assesses their prior knowledge and understanding. It also helps them to make connections between past and present learning. During the explore phase, this phase provides students with common experiences. It also gives them time to apply concepts and try out new ideas. Students design and they conduct investigations while they collect data. During the explain phase, attention is focused on important aspects of previous phases. The students share findings from their exploration phase. The teacher directly introduces a concept, a process, or a skill to the students. The teachers guide students to develop deeper understanding through strategies or instructional materials. During the elaborate phase, students apply their new learning. Their knowledge is challenged and deepened. And finally, during the evaluate stage, students are encouraged to assess their own learning, and then teachers also assess students' understanding and progress. So this is an example of a 5E lesson plan, the plant life cycle. This is what I did for my 5E lesson plan. So the standards that would be used in this is a 3rd grade lesson plan. would be Life Science 3.1.2, examine evidence to communicate information that the internal and external structures of plants, the thorns, leaves, stems, roots, or colored petals, function to support survival, growth, behavior, and reproduction. L3.2.1, identify traits and describe how traits are passed from parent organisms to offspring in plants and animals. Then in literacy, RI, so reading informational text 3.7, use information gained from illustrations, such as maps and photographs, and the words in the text to demonstrate understanding of the text, where, when, and how key events occur. And then a writing standard would be 3.2, write informative, explanatory text to examine a topic and convey ideas and information clearly. There's also a mathematical practice in this, and that would be reason abstractly and quantitatively. The objectives of this lesson, and this lesson is a 5-day lesson plan, would be that the learner will describe the life cycle of a plant by drawing a model and by completing a writing response. The learner will predict and discover the effects of water on a seed by completing an investigation. And the learner will identify ways seeds are dispersed. So on the first day, it would be the engagement phase and the exploration phase. So during the engagement phase, the students would watch a quick video on a time lapse of a sunflower. It's just a quick video, and it gives them an idea of what a flower, the process of a flower growing. Students will ask questions after the video. They will ask their own questions, such as, what kind of flower was in the video? What happened when the seed started growing? How did they make the video? How did the video make the flower grow fast? I mean, it can be any number of questions that the student may have. Also, on day one, the exploration phase, the teacher will point out that students just watch the video about a plant growing and that it's time for them to investigate. And so they're going to do a quick little experiment. It'll last all week, but they're going to start it this day. And so they'll have 2 sandwich bags and 2 paper towels, some bean seeds, and water. And so they're going to soak one of their paper towels with water. They'll place the paper towel in one of the sandwich bags, and they'll place the other paper towel, which will stay dry, into the sandwich bag. And then they'll put seeds in each paper towel and press the seeds firmly into the paper towel, and then they'll seal it and place them together. And they will each day record their observations of what of their findings. The teacher will have a chart paper that day, and they will go ahead and decide what a plant needs and which seed do you think will grow, so their prediction on what's going to happen. They'll also have their own seed growth inquiry worksheet where they can do that. And then sort of what they expect to observe over the week. So then days 2 through 4, students can continually record their observations of their seeds. They'll answer questions about the needs of plants and animals. Are they the same, or how are they different? After this lesson, they'll go into the animal life cycle. So this just sort of prepares them for that. They will have textbooks, which is the Inspire Science Student Handbook, and there's a reading passage in there that they can read, and then answer some more questions about what plants need to grow. They'll also learn some new vocabulary. So this would be where vocabulary comes into place: the life cycle, germinate, and reproduction. They will then have a hands-on part of the lesson where they will sort of take apart a bean. So they'll take the seed coat off and examine it. They'll have a magnifying glass. They will split the seed into halves and observe that, and then they'll draw what they see. They'll also ask questions as they investigate the different seed parts. So this is where they're explaining what they see. They'll also read some more in their science textbook. They'll observe the life cycle of a dandelion. They'll describe what they see with that, and then they will talk about basically like, how does a bee help a plant, and why is the life cycle displayed in a circle? This was an interesting question. Well, their response should be that it's an endless cycle. It goes over, it keeps going, it repeats. And so then they'll look at a cherry tree, and they'll use that and from their book to actually draw a life cycle of an apple tree. So they will be able to transfer that information to their paper. There'll also be a quick assess during this, at the end of this phase, just to sort of give an idea of what they have learned. So the explanation again is 2 to 4 days. Day 2 to 4. Elaboration and evaluation will be on day 5. They will talk about dispersal. Watch a quick video on how seeds are dispersed. They will be able to recall what they've learned from the video and explain the different ways that seeds are dispersed that they see in the video, but they also are going to think about other ways they feel like that seeds may be able to be dispersed. And then at the end of that, the teacher will read The Magic School Bus Plants Seeds, a book about how living things grow. And then that day, day 5, will end with the evaluation. So the students will be assessed by drawing and labeling the life cycle of a plant. And they will complete a written response where they describe each step in the life cycle of a plant using the following words in their writing. They'll have to use flower, adult plant, young plant, germination, pollination, and seed. And so they'll have a worksheet where they make their prediction for their seed growth inquiry project. They'll have 5 days where they write down their observations. This will be their quick check. They'll describe the life cycle of a plant that uses cones to reproduce, and so they will have to produce what happens first, next, the 2 things that happen in the middle, and then last. And then their final assessment will be to draw and label their life cycle of a plant, and then to do their writing assignment. And there are my references. So this gives you an idea of how a 5E lesson plan would work and the different phases and how it can be applied to a classroom. So that's the end of this presentation.